Good morning. It is May 26th, Wednesday, 5:12. I'm back on my normal route, as you can see, but I'm not running it. I'm just walking it. Took me longer than normal, but whatever. Yesterday I was talking about change and how I really don't like change very much. I'm of the mentality that if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? But I find myself actually thinking about it. When it comes to change, I'm the type of person that needs to make a big, massive change in my own mind before I get to it. I'll give you an example. So, for example, I started doing these early morning 5 a.m. workouts after reading a book by Robin Sharma called The 5 a.m. Club. And spoiler alert, I wouldn't recommend it. It's just it was not the type of book that I was expecting to read. It was more of a novel, basically. It was a story. I'm like, 5 a.m. club, okay, cool. Probably some practical steps in here about waking up at 5 a.m. and ways to succeed in that. And no, it was about a book about the entrepreneur, the artist, and I don't know, it was just this long novel. Anyway, long story short, don't recommend that book. But in the later chapters, in the very ending chapters, he does go into the nitty-gritty about why waking up at 5 a.m. and how to implement that. So if you do want to read that book, read like the last 4 chapters. That's where all the practical information is. Other than that, if you like a good story, mediocre story, then go read the first chapters. Anyway, so a big change of mine came when I decided in my head that I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., 4:45, and do my workouts. And that was a huge change. And I remember when I first got started on that, some people actually being like, well, you know, don't be so drastic. You're just gonna yo-yo. You're gonna start hard and you're only gonna fail. They didn't tell me that outright, but in so many words, they said that. And I was willing to accept that kind of change. It was big, it was drastic, and that's the kind of change that maybe I felt more comfortable. I'm trying to learn how to deal with small, gradual change. Like we go to a cafe on Thursday nights, and then a friend of mine says, hey, let's go to this other cafe. And I'm like, well, this cafe, I like this cafe that we're going to right now. Why do we have to change, you know? So that initial amount of change is met with some opposition in my mind. Anyway, that's just one of those things. So I was thinking about it. At the same time, we want to be encouraging, and 6 months now, people can see that I've been making progress, and they see I've been doing good. Now here's the danger for me, is telling other people to start it as well. You don't want to come off preachy, you don't want to come off judgmental. And here's an analogy. So I remember growing up, we used to go to this pool that's right down in the valley. And in the mornings, the pool, you just put your toe in the pool water and it is absolutely freezing, absolutely cold. So that may cause you to not want to jump in the pool at all because it's so cold. A friend of mine, he just says, forget it, I'm going for it, and he goes and he just jumps in the pool, and the body acclimates very quickly to the temperature of the pool. And after you see that person in there having fun, and you know they're all revitalized because they're in that freezing cold water and their body's waking up, it moves you to want to jump in the pool too. Do you jump in the pool? Not at first. It moves you to want to, but you have to be the one to jump in the pool. Now, say for example, somebody came along and they were bigger and stronger than you, and they picked you up and they threw you in the pool. Even though you saw your friend in there, even though you said, wow, it must be nice in there, maybe I want to go in there. If somebody else picks you up and throws you in the pool, then that reaction to it is you get very upset. You get very angry at that person. Why would you do that? I didn't want to go in the pool. Even though in your heart, you probably did want to go in the pool. But here's the thing. You have to make that step yourself. Somebody can't force you into making that drastic change. So, and if somebody from the inside the pool pulls you into the pool, same idea. You wasn't ready. You weren't ready. You still had your phone in your pocket. You didn't have your clothes on. You know, it just wasn't right. Everything wasn't right. So sometimes we need, my God, there's a lot of bees right here. Gosh. Sometimes we gotta pull others into encourage others to come into the pool with us. Oh, there's my mile. Have to encourage others to come into the pool with us. But a good principle is don't throw anybody in the pool. So be encouraging, lead by example. Yeah, let your actions speak louder than words, and that might encourage somebody else to make a change. Kind of same thing with books and these self-development books. If I tell somebody, hey, you got to read this, then they're going to be like, why? You know, why should I have to read that book? And he said, well, it's good for you and it's helped me. And so, well, I'm not broken. I'm not broken. Why do I have to read that book if I'm not broken? So, yeah, learning to being empathetic as well too. Being empathetic with others, that's important. And yeah, what was it? They call it the 3 F's. I gotta think about this one again. Yeah, I'll think about that one again. But anyway, Jesse, May 26th, we got 5 more days to the end of the year. Here we go. You're doing great. You're doing awesome. Let's keep going. Small changes are the best changes. So let's end off with our push-ups and then we'll call it a day. I've already done 75, so this is reps 76 to 100. Let's get it. It's really wet up here. And that is 100. All right, Jesse. Love you. Take care. Aloha. Keep it up.